Hey guys, it's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome back to what just happened month. I finally am gonna do another review. I'm back from vacation, and let's get back to business. This movie is a 2015 satire of the Fast and the Furious movies from the first five. Fast and the Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious 4, and Fast 5, and that is the uh, movie Superfast. Yeah, I finally got to see it when on vacation last night. I mean, yesterday afternoon. And what did I just see? Well, it's not horrible. I've seen much worse from these two guys. Aaron, so was it Seltzer and Freeberg? Yeah, they have done some terrible freaking movies, but this isn't their worst. Their worst is still Disaster Movie because that's not even a movie. It's just references strung together that don't even match up. Here, at least, they focus on one franchise and not 14. They do make a lot of references, but hey, these guys are dumb Canadian guys. What can you say? No offense to Evan and anybody else that's Canadian, but these guys are idiots when it comes to some writing, because Disaster Movie, I didn't laugh once. Here, at least, I got a couple of chuckle-worthy things. I think the cast makes this some of the weaker material work for me because they're really trying. And they're a bunch of unknowns. They're not like big name actors. Like in the other movies, like Meet the Spartans and Epic Movie and Disaster Movie, they had actual big name actors at the time. Here you got a bunch of people I never heard of. You have Alex Ashbog as the spoof version of Paul Walker. You got Dale Pavinsky as Dominic Toretto's thing. He's like, what was his name? Vin Sorrento, which is based after their cheese. You have Lily Mironick, who's the Jordana Brewster's character, Andrea Navido as and Michelle Rodriguez, and Dio Johnson. Yeah, he has the same last name as The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, who does the Rock's character Hobbs, I think. Yeah, from Fast Five, because he was only in Fast Five at the time. Later on, they would do Fast Six and Furious 7, and of course, 8, and the movies without Paul Walker. So these focus on the first 5 films. The film would cost $20 million, wow, and made only $2.1 million. It bombed, because again, once Seltzer and Freeberg did a Disaster Movie, nobody wanted to fund them anymore. I mean, Vampire Suck made some money, but again, they were ripping off Twilight, and the main saving grace of that movie is Jen Prosk. She's amazing. Josh, you never told me she had a cameo in Ambulance that Michael Bay did this year. She came back to acting. I'm glad. I missed her. The plot, the plot, guys, is basically the plot of the first movie, just stretched out into, with references to the other films. Lucas White, who's, the Paul, it's of Lucas Black's character from Tokyo Drift, and Paul Walker's character from the first movies, an undercover street cop joining a gang of street racers led by Vince Sorrento to get closer to a crime ring led by Los Angeles kingpin Juan Carlos de la Sol, who was the villain in the fourth movie, John Ortiz. Yeah, not a very interesting villain, but here a lot of there's a few things that bother me in this movie. There's too much freaking Spanish with the villain and his stereotypical freaking Mexican gang. I don't care for the soundtrack. A lot of it is just either rap or Spanish music that's in the background. And also, some jokes go on for way too long. Seltzer and Freeberg, please, listen to me. A joke only lasts about a few seconds, or maybe a minute. You stretch out a joke until like 2 or 3 minutes. We get it already, alright? Michelle Rodriguez, lesbian, we got it. Got it. This guy's white, we got it. Vin Diesel's bald, we get it. Also the freaking, when the guy's getting tased, he can't tase him once or twice. He has to do it like 5 times. We get it. That's what I'm saying. There were some jokes that made me laugh, like when she throws when Gal Gadot's look-alike, the model turned actress, Gal Gadot, throws her breast implants in a guy's face and he screams like a girl. That was funny. See, he didn't have to scream like a girl 15 times. We got the joke the first time. There were some dialogue that made me laugh. There's an Asian guy in the movie because, it's Asian month, so I have to reference that. Yeah, literally his name is Chris Pang as Cool Asian Guy, a parody of Han, who was a superhero. At least they're not superheroes in this movie. They do bleed, and there's some, there's some blood in the movie, so it is PG-13. There's also some nudity that they cross out, they blur out because, it's a PG-13. They can't show uh, you know, TNA in a PG-13 movie, and the movie came out in not in the U.S. It came out in Italy. It debuted at number 8. It dropped to number 13. Yeah, because people in Italy probably didn't find it funny. It only came out in the U.S. like in the United Arab Emirates, which it finished at 4th place. I guess they found it funny, but it's not abysmal. I've seen way freaking worse. This is more like a guilty pleasure than a freaking movie that was not funny once. If I didn't laugh once, then I would have shut the movie off. But I did laugh a couple of times. I admit that. But again, it was the jokes that were short, not jokes that dragged on for 5 minutes, like the dance off. Because apparently Seltzer and Freeberg think that dancing is hilarious. The guys make it work. The guys that played Vin Diesel's character and Paul Walker's character, they did fine. But the girls, I'm like, they're just there to be sexy. Most of them, most of the actresses were sexy. The girl that played not Gina Carano's character, I think it was Elsa Pataki's character from Fast Say. Oh no, wait a minute. Yeah, she was in 5. But yeah, then this is the poster. I'm using my phone because my tablet, I just charged it earlier. And yeah, there's a black guy in the movie, so it's not racist. The racist stuff is mostly the stereotypes. Just saying, Michelle Rodriguez's character, who's actually bisexual, not lesbian in real life. And then you have the, Curtis, the guy that was in Daniel Buno or whatever, the guy that was or Bucco, he was in an iCarly episode, yeah. And you have, of course, the black guy has rap CDs, and the Asian guy can do martial arts, and of course the Mexicans, so they have a taco stand as a freaking hideout. That was a little bit clever, the giant tacos, that was kind of clever. Like I said, there's some clever jokes here and there, but Seltzer and Freeberg, they have to know when to stop. A joke does not last 5 minutes. If it fails, just go on to the next joke. It's one of the reasons why guys like the Marx Brothers and Abbott and Costello and Mel Brooks and the Three Stooges, their jokes only work once. It doesn't work twice. And also, they at least kept this movie short. Fast 9 was a cartoon, and that was like 15 movies in one. And it was worse than this because it was too freaking long. That movie was over 2 hours long. This movie's 99 minutes. It's mercifully short. That's the one thing I could say about a Seltzer and Freeberg movie. Even their worst ones, they're short. Some of the jokes drag on too long, but this movie's only 99 minutes. Without the end credits and the blooper reel at the end, is about 94 minutes. Also, the accents in the movie. Oh my god. There's no British accents here, Josh, because Jason Statham didn't come to the franchise until 6, I think, in a cameo. So, yeah. But the Mexican guy's like, I want to get the minions. And I'm like, oh my god, please just stop. You don't know how Spanish people sound. We don't all sound like that. I'm Hispanic, and I don't sound like that. I don't talk fast, and I don't mix Spanish and English together, and I also don't talk like that. You know what I mean? And I'm like, no, it's too much. It's like, we get it. They're Mexican. They're not white. We get it. But apparently the Seltzer and Freeberg are from Canada. They don't know what Spanish people sound like. But no, pretty much screw those guys. I give the cast, most of the cast, the benefit of the doubt, because they gave it their all. They're not phoning it in. They're not freaking doing cartoonish stuff like in Fast 9 where it's too much. They're superheroes. There's stupid things in this movie, but it's short. They're not jumping on cars in the middle of a highway. They're not flying into space. They're not jumping out of a window like Batman and surviving. No, there's none of that. Because that's what happened after Paul Walker passed away. They lost their freaking minds, the writers and the director. But anyway, that's why Justin Lin left. He's not doing 10, and I'm like, 10, I'm expecting it to be a cartoon at this point. But anyway, if you haven't seen Fast 9, there's a way to stream it. And I would say stream it. I don't say buy it. I wouldn't recommend buying it, but at least stream it or rent it. It's worth one watch for a few laughs here and there, but that's about it. I'm not going to say it's a good movie. A good parody is a movie like Spaceballs. That's hilarious throughout most of it, and it's shorter, and it gets a joke once. You don't have to beat. Mel Brooks knows to say a joke once and not 15 times. Just out of saying, but this is not their worst disaster movie. I would never recommend that because that's easily their worst thing that they created because it's not funny. Here I got a few chuckles here and there, so I did laugh a couple of times. That's better than disaster movie all the way through. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and I'll see you guys much sooner.